Okay, greetings everyone. Welcome to Gerard Black in the Philippines with the truth. I'm going to welcome you to my channel, all my subscribers, all my peaches, triggers, lovers, haters, commenters, and scallywags. Each and every one of you, I welcome you to my channel. You know, as you can tell from the caption of this, we're going to talk about what I'm going to talk about. But anyway, Uh, I'm gonna tell you a couple of stories. Oh, let me say something about my little queen. When I look at her in the morning or whenever, and I'm staring deep into her eyes, and I can see the innocence in her, in her glance, in her stare back at me when she stares back at me, you know, and the good warm feelings I have about this being my child brings tears to my eyes, you know. I mean, it's it's so much protection and wanting to ensure that she has a good life, to want to ensure that nothing happens to her, you know, uh, comes over me. And it's much different when I had my first two children. Because during that time in California, you know, I wasn't off the chain, but I was doing wrong. You know? And I remember them being at that almost that same age as Duchess is now, Queen Duchess is now. And when I look into their eyes at that time, I have a overwhelming fear of guilt. I felt that they were judging me. I felt that they knew that I was doing wrong, even as an infant, you know, as if telepathically they were saying, Dad, stop, stop, you know. And that feeling of guilt, of being unworthy, you know, came over me. Um, uh, but now it's different. And like I said, I thank God that I am able to have another chance of doing it right, and I'm going to do it right. Okay, what I want to talk to you about, I'll tell you a story. It was this guy, his name is Simon. Simon. He owned a restaurant in Darwin. Also diving. He was at diving school and all that stuff. And he went diving, and he cut his leg on a coral. He didn't think nothing of it. It's just a scratch, a cut. You know, no big deal. You know, just slap a band-aid on it, pour some alcohol on it, and keep on chugging. You know, and that's what he did. But over the next few days, it started changing colors. Yeah. It started to give the illusion of it being infected. But he didn't want to go to the hospital. He didn't want to go to the hospital because it was the cost. The cost. I didn't want to spend the money. I didn't want to spend the money. And and a week went by or so, and it got real. It looked the wound got looked very ugly. And people would tell him go to the hospital, and he wouldn't go. But when he finally went, you know, the doctor told him that there's nothing that they can do. You waited too late. The infection, the septic, or the infection had traveled, you know, into his system, and there was nothing they can do to stop it. So he turned what was a minor scrape, a minor scratch, into a life or death situation that ultimately killed him. all because that he didn't want to go spend that money or didn't want that big hospital bill. And there have been a number of stories, something similar to that, the where is that, you know, here in the Philippines, if a foreigner has an illness, the first thing they do is that they go home. They go to their country for treatment or whatever because they know they're going to be in the best of care. You know, if you're solvent enough, or if that's what you want to do, and that's what you do. I know if I go home, for something, I got a VA hospital here that I probably can, pop into in Manila or whatever. But I don't know how that's going to go over because often the time they only deal with preconditions. I think called preconditions or something like that. And so anything out of the new, you got to go to the hospital. But anyway, that's not here nor there. But for some reason, recently, there's always been a fact of people passing away here in the Philippines, and you know them, and oh wow, like this and what happened. But a few days ago, I did a video and I sent out well wishes to Dave and Ron, who were in the hospital, dealing with whatever medical issue they were dealing with. And Ron was a retired Navy guy, and he was fun to be around. We played spades together. In fact, I used to see him on my Saturday, on my Saturday get together. He was there. I saw him before I started it because I know that's where they were every Saturday, and that's why I kind of made that my watering hole on Saturday because just sit around and kick it with him, Bobby, and Tommy. Now, Ron was the type of guy that took care of another ailing foreigner named Tommy, who was a retired police officer. And Tommy is, you know, um, I'm not gonna say he's in bad shape. He's getting old. He has problem walking. He needs people to do things for him. So Ron was more or less like his caretaker. Tommy I think had a wife, a girl, and had a son who checked on him or whatever. But Tommy mostly drove him around, take him to get haircuts, bring him to that restaurant, took him grocery shopping, and everything. So he virtually did everything for Tommy. Well, I found out that Ron was in the hospital. So I had his number, of course. I called him. He didn't answer the phone, but I texted him, and he answered the text back. And for about 2 days, we were texting, and I said, "Are you up for a visit?" He told me that he had appendicitis, something like some. I think it's appendicitis, and he never answered back or whatever. But yesterday, where I go to Big Billy's on the beach, where a few of us foreigners get together a couple of times a week and hang out. I got the word that Ron had died. I said, died? Died? I was just chatting with him. I was just trying to, make arrangements to go visit him in the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Just to go say, hey, man, what's up? What are you doing here? Get up. Come on, man, get up. And then to come to find out, I guess his appendix had burst or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is that he's dead. And to think, in my mind, how could it happen so fast? 'Cause I was seeing him before, Saturday before that or whatever, But it just goes to show you, man, that nothing is guaranteed. And when I was talking to him, he used to smoke a lot of cigarettes. He's one of those that smokes. drink, beer. You know, like that. So I asked him, uh, uh, you know, usually when someone says they're trying to quit smoking, you don't say, "Well, how's your quitting smoking? How's it going along?" or whatever like that. Or if they do say, "No, I'm smoking again," okay, well, good. Keep trying, man. Keep trying. As long as you try, then there's always hope. Just don't give up. You know, because we know it's bad for you. And he had stopped drinking and all this stuff. And I said, "How long you stopped smoking?" He said, "A year." I said, "A year?" I said, "Wow, man, now you got big ups. You got big ups on me, man. Big ups. I got big ups for you. You know what I'm saying? Because you already kicked that habit a whole year ago and stop drinking. You know, and then look what happens, man. Look, his appendix, and it stops. It makes you wonder sometime. You know, what's all this health, fitness, you know, thing on my brother's texting me in New York. You know, what's it all for, man? You know, what's it all about, man? I know, I know. When your mind having my thoughts is, I'm gonna live to be 100. You know, I want to see it go to college. I want to see it go out on our first date. Hey, I want to see it. I want to go to a graduation. You know, there are a lot of things in my mind that I want to see it. I want to see her love her daddy, man. I know. I want to be here around to see her love her daddy. You know, and and so it just tells you that nothing is guaranteed. You know, you can do whatever you want to do. You know, hoping that change whatever lifestyle you're living in, and you make all these adjustments in your life, and try to avoid certain things in your life, and then you get hit by a truck. you know, that's the crazy thing about it. You know, that's the crazy thing about it. He was doing the right thing. You know, he was changing his life. He was giving up vices, you know, but nothing could prepare him for, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. And then the funny thing is that we're sitting around and we're talking about him and all this stuff, and I'm finding out, damn, he did that. Damn, he did that. What? you know, he was what kind of a drunk? So stuff that I didn't know that I didn't have privilege to, but you know, but I'm kind of disappointed that I wasn't reached out and told that he had passed away. You know, it's okay. You know, I know I don't come to people's minds, but all I can say is R.I.P. Ron. You know, and you take your place in that big group shot at Thugg Mansion with Maurice White, Tupac, Chuck Berry, the Godfather Soul, Mr. James Brown, and all those others waiting for me to get there to take that picture. And tell them I'll be there soon. And let them all know I always love you more. So R.I.P. Brother Rod, R.I.P. You know. But, sometimes whenever you have a disagreement with somebody, and it may lead to, you know, stopping communication, stop seeing each other, or you know, no one's going to pick up the phone first. Let's put it that way. Uh, no one wants to admit they're wrong, or the one who was right refuses to be the one to be the first to say, anything because you were wrong. And sometimes whenever I remember my brother, we talking one day and uh, we talking about family. I may have spoke to so and so or whatever. He says, "No, I haven't spoken to them." I said, "Why not? They don't call me, so why should I call them?" I said, "Well, it's a simple reason. You know, they are seniors. You are the next generation. It's your obligation to call on the seniors to say, hey, how are you doing? Hey, do you need something? Or hey, I just been thinking about you and want to know if you're all right." You follow what I'm saying? And you have to, if if you can't decide on who should make the first step or anything like that, let that be the reason. If nothing else, if you're 1 year older or if you're 20 years older, the senior or whoever's oldest, should be approached to and at first and say, hey, let's put this aside and let's get back to where we were. You know, and that's how I feel about things. And for the life of me, I got two families, who I don't have anything to do with. You know, should I grovel? No, or should I just stay fast to my guns and hopefully it'll dawn on you that you're wrong. You were wrong. You shouldn't have done that. But be that as it may. Okay, so I just want to. Okay, I can't see. Woo. Okay, I just want to put this little piece of video in here, and that was a moment of silence for Ron and all the other. Uh, and yeah, uh, I've made up my mind to get insurance, life insurance, because appendicitis, to my understanding, it's not a big deal to be operated on. But when you're in a country, uh, I'm not faulting their medical care. I'm just saying that it could have been better if it was at a different hospital. I don't know. The hospital he chose was one of the, I don't know. I can't call it. I can't call it. All I know is that, when it comes to me, I want the best. You're watching Gerard Black in the Philippines with the truth. Remember, dreams are nothing more than plans awaiting action. Never disrespect the elderly. Always pull someone up. And sometimes you're the only one to see your vision. And the best revenge of life is to live good. I'm living good today. I hope you are too. And if you're lucky enough to have a woman like Ali Wilson, former lead singer of the Temptation One song, treat her like a lady. And ladies, if you're lucky enough to have a good man like me, make him feel like a king and never say no. I always love you more. Oh yeah, I'm wearing my Dennis Rodman t-shirt. I'll talk to you later. Love you like a love song, baby.